Welcome, everybody. Nice to see a few familiar faces. Today, we're going to continue our discussion on resources that today's business owners and CEOs can utilize to help solve problems that they have in their business or what keeps them up late at night. At Vistage, we've had the opportunity to meet and be part of several of the best professional service advisors that there are out there. And today, we're going to talk about fractional IT. So with me today, Mike Schuldt from Freeman Clarke, one of the authorities in the space. And why don't you just introduce yourself, Mike,
great.
and tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, thanks for the kind introduction, Dave. It's fun to continue our conversation here. I'm Mike Schuldt. I'm living in Philadelphia. I've been managing technology for organizations for primarily in the AEC sector, architecture, engineering, and construction for about 25 years. Although, it's funny. Just recently, I think I need to admit that it's been above 30 years. So I've been doing this for a while, serving in various roles such as director of technology, COO, CIO. I've also been involved in a couple of local tech startups where I was immersed in the world of the local VC community over many meetings at Manella's. And today, though, as a managing partner at Freeman Clarke, I'm spearheading the growth of the Philadelphia and DC markets. And so my primary focus is now expanding and managing the team of fractional CIOs, CTOs, and CISOs, and also ensuring client success.
Well, that's great. Thanks. And I appreciate you taking the time. So what the heck is a fractional IT CSO and what problems do you solve?
Yeah, well, a fractional CIO, and it's been interesting because this concept of fractional CXO, whether it's CIO, CTO, in our case, CISO, but there's also chief marketing, fractionals, service providers. So it goes across the board, but in our case, we provide fractional CIO, CTO services to the mid-market. And it's where we see many SMBs, they seem to value the role of the CIO, but might not be in a position to fully support, a full-time person. And that leads to the conversation, okay, well, we have an in-house team. What can we do in-house versus out of house? And we might have a relationship with an existing MSP or managed service provider. They might offer virtual or fractional CIO services. And then that leads the conversation to, okay, then what's the difference between an MSP, typical MSP, managed service provider, or a fractional CIO? And the difference really is that one is tactical and really the other is strategic. And it comes down to, we're independent. We don't sell hardware. We don't sell software. We become a part of the strategic team. And that's not to put down the MSP community. I think they're vital in managing tactical operations, but we're a little bit different that way.
Great. So how about a project or so that you might get involved with just to help people visualize exactly how it might work for them?
Yeah, well, typically we get involved with companies. I would say there may be 4 different typical situations where we become involved. Maybe number one, that might be during a transition. And that could either be a leadership transition, perhaps an existing CIO or CTO is retiring. Perhaps somebody, younger staff is coming up from the team and they would benefit from some mentoring from some seasoned professionals. And then on the M&A side, we work to assess really the strengths and weaknesses of companies' tech stack. So that means, for PE firms with a buy side assessment, we really help answer the question, is this firm worth investing in? And then, also on the post-close integration services and ongoing fractional CIO services. The second might be companies that are facing high growth challenges. And again, goes back to what can we handle in-house and where do we need to lean on outside expertise? And our CIOs who all have more than 20 years plus of experience in various industries. The third might be if a company's in distress, how do we right the ship? Can we go in there on a interim basis, assess the situation, right the ship, get in permanent leadership, and move from there. And then the fourth would be, if we're involved on a specific project effort or initiative, let's say if somebody is focused on implementing a new ERP or CRM system, maybe they're focused on security and governance or software development. And certainly everybody's talking about AI. So those types of projects really run the gamut, but those are kind of the typical situations where we might be called in to help.
Right. Well, it sounds interesting and fascinating. And how about Freeman Clarke? So tell me a little bit about your organization.
Yeah. So Freeman Clarke, our buddies in the UK, started this organization about 12 years ago. In London, since then we've grown to a team of over 100 technology leaders, and we're actually now the largest and most experienced team of IT leaders in the SMB market. So and as I said, all of our principals have 20 plus years of experience in many different sectors, and really what we do is we build a bridge between IT and the C-suite, facilitating communication, efficiency, and growth. So, yep.
Oh, so how does somebody begin engagement here? How does it kind of work?
Yeah, well, it starts with a conversation. So, somebody is reaching out to us with one of those needs. They'll find themselves in one of those four situations, and typically it'll start with a conversation with myself or one of the other managing partners, and we'll start speaking with the CEO, the COO, or more often than not, the CFO. And at that point, we want to invest in understanding what those needs are. So, the next step from my perspective would be to line up a qualified and experienced principal in that sector. And then let's get back on the phone, see if we can meet with the existing IT team, really get in under the hood. And we really look to invest our time into understanding what those needs are. And then at that point, we'll put together a scope of work. And that would serve to give our clients an understanding of how we engage. And that is looking at really a full-scale assessment where we perform a review of core business systems, processes, the IT strategy, vendor management, security, et cetera. And then we'll dive into some benchmarking. Where do we stand against the industry? Where does our staffing stand? Where does our IT spends stand? What does our risk posture look like? And can we identify risks that could potentially impact the organization? And then, identify the gaps and overall requirements. And at the end of this exercise, we would deliver, a report of prioritize mitigation steps and maybe a 1 or 2 year roadmap on how we implement those changes.
That makes some sense. So is there anything that you can share? Most of our viewers here are in the greater Delaware Valley. And anything happening specific with Freeman Clarke and Mike Schuldt here in the Philly area?
Yeah, well, we're always looking to become engaged with others locally, and we do that through a variety of different things. But we're really focused on helping to make Philadelphia a prominent tech hub, and we want to leverage our expertise to support other local technology professionals and business leaders, and we do that through hosting CEO focused events where we might arrange a panel and talk about what to be thinking about for a family-owned business on a planned exit strategy from a technology perspective. We do networking events. We actually have partnered up with several other local fractional CXO firms. So we're working with a firm that does fractional marketing engagements, fractional HR. So we'll get together just as a group to do these referral kind of happy hour events. So we're always looking to engage others who just really want to learn more about that fractional model. And we do obviously thought leadership, articles, presentations, but ultimately we engage locally by delivering technology resources tailored for the mid-market. But we're always looking to meet new people and have these conversations. So yeah, I appreciate this opportunity, Dave.
Yeah, well, look, this is the kind of thing that Vistage brings to our members, talented individuals like you with well-backed organizations like Freeman Clarke. So if somebody wants to contact you, how would they do that? You got a phone number you want to put out or an email that somebody
Yeah,
can connect you with?
certainly you could go to just freemanclarke.com, Clark with an E, and you'll find my picture and bio there. My email is michael.schuldt, SCHULDT @freemanclarke.com. So yeah, happy to, or connect on LinkedIn. I'm pretty easily found out there. I think you and I are connected there, Dave, with a bunch of other folks. So always happy to connect with more folks through that channel.
Mike, thank you. And thanks, viewers. We're just about out of time. And these are just quick little snippets about kind of the resources that we're able to help business owners and CEOs solve problems that keep them up at night. So take care, Mike, and thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Take care.